Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and welcome to another episode of Sunday Mailbox. This is a video series where you, the viewer, can submit your gaming-related questions, and then I will give my humble opinion on them. To get the formats out of the way real quick, if you would like to submit your own question that could be featured in an upcoming episode, you can do so by leaving a comment down below, or by sending me a Facebook and Twitter message. The first question for today comes from Garrett, and it is, did you hear that Battlefield 4 will no longer be getting any more content? I did hear that, and I know that some people are disappointed by this news. Even I'm a little disappointed because I was hoping that we were going to be getting at least the two new night maps that they were working on, Siege of Shanghai and Golmud Railways. Siege of Shanghai at night is an amazing experience. I know that I played on it like 6 months ago. It's been forever now. It may even be a year. It's been that long since they teased us with Siege of Shanghai nights, but it was an amazing experience. The lighting effects, the combat was a lot of fun, and so to hear, at least according to DICE LA's Twitter, one of the developers, it doesn't look like we're going to be getting anything in the future. Honestly, though, we had to have known that this day was going to be coming. I have to give a tip of my hat to DICE LA and EA for even supporting Battlefield 4 for as long as they did. Did you guys expect free weapons? Did you guys expect 2 brand new free maps? I didn't. I just kind of assumed that they were going to pump out all the premium content and leave it at that like they've done with all their past Battlefield games. And so just in general, I have been very happy with the support that DICE and EA have had for Battlefield 4. It has been absolutely incredible, and it sounds like it's going to continue. I think that same DICE LA developer tweeted out that they are still going to be working on Battlefield 4, but it's going to be more of a back burner kind of thing where they're going to just focus on bugs and stuff to that nature. So it's not going to be any more free content, but they are going to be there to subtly improve the game along the way until probably Battlefield 5 comes out, where they're going to shift their focus on over into that game. And so while I know that it is a little bit disappointing, we always want to have more free content in Battlefield 4. It always freshens things up. I really just am excited to see what they're going to do with the next Battlefield game, because if they support it the same way they did with Battlefield 4, I am going to be one happy camper. The next question comes from Jeffrey, and it is, do you think the Division will be able to maintain an active entertainment experience and continue to be fun, or will it go the way of so many massively hyped games before it? Well, at least in its current implementation, it's going to depend on Ubisoft and Massive if there is going to be any longevity here. At least right now, there isn't a lot of endgame content. That doesn't mean that there isn't anything to enjoy. I personally had a lot of fun getting to endgame. I had a lot of fun with the story. The gear grind is really compelling. I love these types of games. I don't know what it is, but I like getting better loot. I love Diablo. I love seeing the shiny loot drop at the end of a boss and all that kind of thing. I love progressing my character, and that is something that the Division does very well. But as soon as you hit endgame, especially with the PvP, and I might make a video just dedicated to PvP because how disappointed I am with it, but there really isn't much to do when you get to the end of the game. You can redo all of the missions on harder difficulty, which is very challenging. I'll give them that. The challenging missions are quite challenging. They did a good job there. But you are just redoing all the missions that you did before. You can run around in the PvP zone, but you're essentially just killing the same mobs over and over and over again, not really shooting at anyone, and it's just for some loot that doesn't really get you anywhere. It's like, oh yeah, I got all this awesome loot, but what am I doing with it? Because no one's PvPing right now. And so, at least right now, it needs a fair amount of work with the end game. They have come out and said that they do plan on supporting this into the future, though. They said that they're going to be bringing in incursions, which are essentially raids from other games, so more harder content that you can do with your friends. They're going to be adding in gear sets, so if you've ever played Diablo and you wanted to have a really cool build to your character that's different from everyone else, they're going to add gear sets to allow you to do that. They're going to be bringing in more PvP events and stuff in the PvP zone, so it's not like they're just stopping all content. It's not like they're not going to be updating it, but we don't know how good this content is going to be. And so at least right now, if you're looking for a fun gear grind, if you're looking for a fun PvE game, because that's what it is. This is a game that revolves around killing enemies. It doesn't really revolve around PvP. At least in its current state, I would not buy the Division for the PvP. I cannot stress that enough. You are not going to get much enjoyment there, but if you want to play with this with your friends and you just kind of like the universe that they've created, because let's be honest, The Division is one of the best looking games that has ever been created. What they have created aesthetically and the art-wise is phenomenal, but you just need to know what you're getting into when you do purchase this product. The next question is, for Rainbow Six Siege, would you like to see a gadget that can mimic either gun or other operator sounds? It could be placed down and activate when needed to create a short diversion, which could add another tactical layer to the game. Honestly, I'm a little surprised that they haven't already added something like this into Rainbow Six Siege, and I would expect that in one of the future DLCs with one of the free operators, that they either get a decoy grenade like we see in other first-person shooters like Counter-Strike, or they just flat out give you a gadget that you can place down on the ground and manually turn on and off when you want to have sounds in that area. And so if you're trying to breach from one window, but you want to make the enemy kind of look towards the other window, you can activate this gadget really quickly for a couple of seconds and then breach on in as soon as they all turn their heads in that area. That could be really cool. The only way that I could see this actually being effective though is if it is a gadget, because I've never really been all that impressed by decoy grenades. Really, this needs to be something that is very convincing. In most first-person shooters, these decoy devices, decoy grenades, you see something like this in Battlefield 4, they don't really do all that much, and they're not very effective. Once you kind of understand those games and you know what to look out for, you're not going to be fooled by these things very often. And so I guess what my hope is that if they did add something like this into Rainbow Six Siege, that they would make the sounds diversified enough so that it's very difficult to know, oh, that is the decoy. Like, I've heard that sound, I've heard that bullet spray pattern of that same gun over and over and over again. I know that's a decoy, and I'm going to avoid looking at the area because they're probably going to be breaching in from a different location. And so if they're able to make it work, and they're able to have like a wide variety of different gun sounds, you turn it on and off and it has a different sound each and every single time, that could actually make it much more compelling that it's multiple people or not even the decoy grenade, so that you can have those tactical moments. In general, if they're able to make it work, this could be a really fun new operator that they add into Rainbow Six Siege, but it kind of remains to be seen. The next question is, in the last mission in Rainbow Six Siege, of the situations, it took place on a university map. Do you think that this should be added into the multiplayer? Absolutely. I would love for them to try to bring this into the multiplayer. The only thing is that hopefully they wouldn't have the smoke. I would be very surprised if they did add that. But also I would assume that they would need to change it pretty significantly, because from what I remember, it was gigantic and there was a little bit too many ways that you could approach the objective. I could be wrong, because there was smoke everywhere. I mean, the map wasn't all that enjoyable because of that very nature. It was chaos. You were getting shot from angles that you had no idea what was going on. I'll be completely honest, the situation was not my favorite out of the bunch, but if it was added correctly, having just another map, especially in a university setting, they've already got the assets clearly, they've already made the map. If they made some adjustments and added into the multiplayer, that could be incredible. The only thing that I would worry about is that this would be their cop-out to be like, oh, hey, yeah, you know those 4 maps that we promised? This was one of them. Ugh, that would rub me the wrong way. The fact that it's already in the game, I wouldn't want that. And so if they did add that into the multiplayer, I would hope that this would kind of be like a secret DLC that they just kind of spring on us and are like, hey, here's more free content. We never said that we were going to bring this to you, but here it is. Happy birthday. That would be really cool. I'm crossing my fingers that that is the case. But of course, we will just have to wait and see. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's Sunday Mailbox. I hope you enjoyed. As always, if you would like to submit your own question that could be featured in an upcoming episode, you can do so by leaving a comment down below or by sending me a Facebook and Twitter message. But until tomorrow, guys, have a good one and take it easy.